You're listening to That Home Loan Hub. I'm Zibuni Salimova, here to make home loans and property investing simple, smart, and stress-free. Let's get you closer to your property dreams. Hello and welcome back to That Home Loan Hub. I'm Zibuni Salimova and I'm joined by...
James Buchanan. Kia ora.
Woof! James, it's been a while. How are you?
It has. I've been MIA for a number of weeks and people might wonder where I've been.
Where have you been?
I've been in Nana land, trying to sell and buy a property. So I've been living the dream, but living what we work with every day. So I've been through all the stresses and tribulations that our clients go through.
So now you know exactly how they feel.
Yes, I do.
Awesome. So let's unpack that and let's go on the journey of what happened in James's life and what the buyers should be aware of or wary of from your own experience.
Yep, okie dokie. So about 2 months or 3 months ago, I think we worked out that living in the countryside on a lifestyle block is not really fitting our priorities anymore. So we've been there for 20 years. And so we decided to sell and move closer to Waikanae. But it turned out to be a huge undertaking just because we have not done anything with our property over those 20 years. So we were basically going from not done anything at our place to having an open home within a few weeks.
Wow.
So it was...
And you wanted to present your house in the best possible light so you could get the best possible outcome for you financially, so then you could buy that next property, right? And I think from memory, you already had a property on offer before you sold yours.
Yes, we got our offer got accepted quite quickly, a little bit too quickly. So we had to make sure we could keep that property and no cash buyer took our place. Or we had to get moving with selling our own place. And our own place was in quite a bit of disrepair. So I sort of had to take a bit of time out from work really and do all the work around the house inside and out and manage the whole thing myself. So, and I think just by running through a few numbers, buying and selling is probably, the expense has probably cost me about $40,000.
$40,000, James, $40,000. Let's drill into those numbers. I want to know what cost you that much.
Okay, so the big one was because I was buying and selling, and luckily a lot of first home buyers won't have this cost, but because I was selling, I had to pay a commission to a real estate agent. So half of it was about $21,000 to a real estate agent for selling our property. But that was money really well spent, I think, because within a week, this was with property brokers, they had a network, that they could send advertise the property with. Had one open home, we had an interested party.
Nice.
So we got an offer straight away.
Nice.
So that was really good. So up to $40,000, about half of that was
real estate.
Okay. So the other 20 is just various costs that came up. Because I was buying and selling, I had to pay lawyers' fees for selling my property and for buying my property. And each one of those was $2,500.
Wow.
It's about $2,500. So if you're just buying a property, you might be looking at about $2,500, I think, depending on the lawyer, I suppose.
And the complexities, right? If there's trust involved or the business is involved, etc. Okay.
Mine was relatively low complexity, I believe. I don't know, I haven't sold a lot of properties in the past. I was a bit surprised because I had forgotten about the lawyer fees.
Yeah.
So you know how you do the numbers in your head.
Yeah.
And you go, I'm going to have all this money left over.
Surprise!
I didn't have any. I didn't have anything left over at all. So it was a bit sad. So no trips for me. I spent $1,500. I mean, I did a lot of cleaning and painting and stuff myself and all the outdoor stuff. And I spent $1,500 on cleaning people on the day before settlement.
Wow.
That was money really well spent because they had to wipe down all the wall. We've got young kids. We've lived in that place, since the kids were little. Now they're now 15. So it's pretty gross, if I can say that out loud. So that was money really well spent. They did an amazing job because what you get when you do your open home, the real estate photographer comes out and they take all the photos of your place and then they go online and they make your place look really attractive, and you're like, that's not real.
My house does not look like that.
Yeah. So I was like really conscious that I needed to have my place at a standard that reflected what the pictures looked like.
Nice.
So there was quite a bit of work that went on behind the scenes. So it was about 6 weeks, I think I was working on this.
Okay.
So it was quite a long time.
What else?
So we got the commission. So you always keep in mind that you pay the commission once you actually sell your property and it settles. But you have to pay the marketing costs up front, usually, I think.
Unless you've got a special agreement with the agent. Okay.
Yeah. So that was about $1,500. We ended up, because we had a cash offer, there was a 3-week difference between when the person wanted to move into our house and when we move into our house, the new house that we've bought. So there's 3 weeks difference. So we're staying in an Airbnb for 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So that's about $4,000.
Okay. What did you do with all your stuff?
We've got 3 storage containers, 3 20-foot storage containers in Palmerston North that I've loaded all our stuff into.
Wow.
So, and I have taken about 15 trailer loads of big cage trailer loads of stuff to the dump.
Whoa.
So that's about $100 each time.
Whoa.
I've burnt all the wood and stuff because we were able to. It's out in
well, you're on a lifestyle property. You could have.
So when Rebecca wasn't looking, I was burning all her wood and furniture, which was it's just another way to get rid of it. It was quite cool. That's another thing that people need to be aware of. If you know you're going to be moving, start planning now. Start getting your stuff out of your house that you don't need. We ended up hiring a storage container on site. They dropped a portable storage container to our property. It looks just like a cabin.
Yeah.
And what we were able to do before the open home is just take all the stuff out of the house and put it in the storage unit. So it instantly made the place look more spacious.
Nice and tidy and decluttered.
Oh, absolutely. There's no way we could have sold it with all the stuff we had in there.
Yeah.
And so that's what people should be. So it's not a big rush like it was for me. It was a really kind of spontaneous thing. Not spontaneous, but we knew we had to do it. So if people know they're going to be doing it, start working away on these things slowly.
Yeah.
Tidying the place out, getting rid of things that you don't need, and just getting organised.
I often suggest to my clients as well that start doing garage sales. Whether you're a first-time buyer or whether you're buying your second property, start doing garage sales because that helps you to get rid of stuff, helps you build up your fund. But I guess it's a bit harder when you live rurally.
Yeah.
Not many people can come out easily to your garage sale if you're doing it.
We could have done that. We probably would have done that if we'd had more time. But because we were I was in a rush because I knew I was taking time out of work.
Yeah.
Didn't want to necessarily be talking with people coming to our house and doing all that sort of stuff. So it was easier for me to, take stuff to the dump and things like that or burn it.
Yeah.
But we could have probably made it a lot cheaper for ourselves by either giving it away and not having that costs going to the dump.
Exactly.
Or, getting a bit of money for some of the stuff that we had. It wouldn't have been much, but it might have been $1,000 or so, depending. Sometimes people do like stuff that you don't like.
Oh, so, totally. Yeah. Totally. I've discovered that, when I was running a shop, the retail store that I had for a very short stint of my life, and I've discovered when I would purchase things for the shop to sell based on my, likes, often it wouldn't be the ones that would be selling. It would be some random stuff that I would get that I wouldn't even like, but that used to, fly off the shelves. It used to absolutely puzzle me. And that's where I realized that often what you think is cool, other people don't think that way. And it could be the reverse, like, for instance, stuff you wanted to get rid of and you thought, oh my God, this is bad. Or, who would want this? There will be people that would want that and would pay money for it.
So if you've got time to do it, I would say get organised and do it that way. It's so much, a little bit more efficient. It's pretty expensive going to the dump these days, dumping non-recyclable rubbish.
Awesome.
I think I spent $1,500 going to it from the dump. So what else? I think that's all my main costs. So, and then loss of earnings for 4 weeks. Probably put me a month behind here. So if you add it all up, I would say we're pretty close to 40 grand.
Yeah.
But for most people, if they're organised, they won't have it.
No.
It shouldn't be that much.
No.
And even if you're just buying, it's just going to be your lawyer costs, isn't it? Really, and moving costs, I suppose. You don't have to worry about marketing costs for selling and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. So, really good takeaways of today. And I think what we're suggesting for our buyers, for our listeners to do is do your numbers. Even rough, but do your numbers and always prepare for the worst. So then if you do come out of it and you actually have extra bucks left, it's better than not.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Cool. Well, thank you, James. This has been an absolutely insightful episode. And for those that have missed out on James talking about his journey as a buyer, go back a few episodes and we talked about what happened when he decided to leave his lifestyle property and how he got his finances sorted with no income at all. Thank you, James.
Cool. Thank you very much.
See ya.
Bye.
And that's a wrap on That Home Loan Hub. Don't forget to hit subscribe and join me next time for more property tips and tricks. Your next smart move starts here.